There's a lot of things they can't do, and that's why we show up. It'd be nice if when we showed up, we understood that and could help them instead of just slap cuffs on and do the paperwork and then we're done with them.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Recovery Happens. I'm Patrick Patterson with BW Rock. Today we're going to be sitting down with the Chief of Police of St. Clair and an important supporter of recovery from addiction, Tim Raker.
Yes, Tim Raker. I'm currently the Chief of Police in the city of St. Clair. I think it's important to support those in recovery because they really, in their minds, don't have a way out. And if they don't have support from people on the outside, they're not going to work towards that end game. My take on people that struggle from addiction from this profession has actually changed. You know, back when I started 38 years ago, people in addiction, my attitude was, you chose it, deal with it. And since then, I have a nephew, godson actually, that got caught up in heroin and is addicted with heroin. And the choices he made under the influence, the consequences came from it. It affected his freedom. It affected his relationship with his family, with his friends. It affected his livelihood, jobs. He couldn't get a place to live. And as we saw that, we kind of separated from him because obviously with my profession and the lies that come with the addiction. But then when we were on vacation, he was missing. And for 7 days, we didn't know where he was. And that really, even though there's separation there, there's still love there. And it really hurt. And he was finally found 7 days later in a flop house in Detroit. And got into treatment. I don't know if it was Sacred Heart, it was one of them. He went, but this time he got it. He's been there before, and out, in and out. This time he got it, and he's been clean for several years now. He's in a solid relationship. He has a daughter. He has a job. He has a vehicle. He has a place to stay. Things are looking good for him now. The strain that his addiction caused on his family and us was, to be honest, you're just afraid to be around him. The lies, the stealing, and so there's huge separation. And he's still working on mending a lot of those relationships. We are very close with him now. We actually babysit his new baby, and we're in their lives almost every day. And his father has come back into his life, and his sisters, and a lot of his friends, good friends. I mean, you have addict friends. I've learned through this process, and there's good friends, and good friends are coming back, and he's paying his bills. He's going to work. It's just really good to see and refreshing. That's what I would love to see, that for a police to sit down and actually hear their story, hear how they got addicted, how they can't control that addiction anymore, how they want to stop but they can't stop. All those things we don't hear. So we just see them as an addict who chose to shoot up, and that's your life. And it would be really nice to have those conversations and learn. Well, cultivating relationships inside the realm of addiction is, until I dealt with my nephew, I'm like, no, I want you to deal with these people outside. Don't stay with them. That's your problem. But the more I see, he needs the support from both sides. He needs to be with people that know what he went through, what he's going through, but he also needs to be with people that aren't. And sometimes I don't know how you make those connections, but it's important.
Forgiveness.
Right.
Second chances.
And the relationship between the police and addicts is, historically, it's not good. When we show up, either someone's going to jail, forced recovery, it just is never good. But if we stop and understand each other, like the addict, I'm sure addicts want us to enforce the law because it helps them control a situation they can't control. But they also want us to treat them like human beings, I think. But we need to understand what that drug's doing to their mind. The fact that they can't make good choices. They can't solve conflict. There's a lot of things they can't do, and that's why we show up. It'd be nice if when we showed up, we understood that and could help them instead of just slap cuffs on and do the paperwork and then we're done with them. Sad thing, in my line of work, we deal with them and they're gone. We very rarely track anybody that we deal with. It's in jail, in treatment, we're done. But my nephew, I mean, we've been all in on that for years now, and it's just nice to go from the bad to the good, and we don't go to sleep every night waiting for, and the phone ring at 1 o'clock in the morning going, uh-oh, is that it? Is that the call we're gonna get to go to the morgue and identify him? And we don't live that way anymore. We're very positive, and he just keeps moving along, and it's just a good thing. One thing that the police and recovery can do better together is, and I just thought of this after I saw what you people do, is we need to hear stories. Police need to sit in a room and hear stories from an addict, and that addict tell them that, you know, they just weren't at a party one night and say, hey, there's issues behind the choices they made, and then once they made the choice and got into the addiction, the choices aren't theirs anymore, really. They're the drugs. The drug is making the choices for them and digging that hole deeper for them. And then when we, the police or society, sees that, we just see, well, you chose it, and we don't help them get out of the hole. And so they dig, and what do? If they can't get out of the hole, they go back to the addiction, because that's what they know.
Do you believe that people that struggle with addiction can restore their lives?
Oh, yeah. I think people that are addicted can restore their lives. They have to want to, and they have to have that support, like we said earlier, inside and outside of addiction, to move forward.
Thank you for watching this edition of Recovery Happens. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, please give us a call at 888-68-BW-ROC. We'd like to thank our sponsor, City of St. Clair Police Department.